Open your website right now, the homepage, and read the first line the way a stranger would. If you are like most owners I speak to, you either do not have a website at all, or the one you have says something vague like, "Welcome to our page. We offer quality products and services with a passion for excellence." Words that could belong to any business on earth and tell a visitor nothing about why they should pick you. And you know it is weak, but every time you sit down to fix it, you freeze. Because writing about yourself is strangely one of the hardest things there is. The cursor blinks, you write a sentence, you delete it, and an hour later, the page still says nothing. Today, I want to show you a faster way to get real words onto your site. Not hiring an expensive agency and not staring at the blank page all weekend, but using an AI assistant to turn what you actually do into clear homepage, about, and services copy in your own voice, which you then refine and approve. One thing before we start, the AI drafts the words from the truth you give it. It cannot invent your story, so you stay the one who decides what is true and what sounds like you. It drafts, you decide. The blank homepage. Let us name where most owners get stuck and call it level 0. The problem is not that you have nothing to say. You know your business better than anyone alive. The problem is that it is all in your head, tangled up with years of doing the work, and you cannot see it clearly enough to write it down plainly. So you do one of two things. You leave the site empty or half-built for years, losing every customer who searched, found nothing, and went to a competitor with a clearer page. Or you fill it with safe, corporate-sounding filler, quality, passion, excellence, service, because those words feel professional when in truth they are invisible. That is level 0, knowing exactly what you do and having a website that fails completely to say it. What good website copy actually does. Before we open any tool, get clear on what good website copy is actually for. Because an assistant is only as good as the target you hand it. Good copy does 4 things. First, it says clearly what you do and who you do it for in the first line, so a visitor knows in 3 seconds whether they are in the right place. Second, it speaks to the customer's problem, not your history. It leads with what they need fixed, not the year you were founded. Third, it sounds like a human being, specifically like you, warm and plain, not like a brochure written by a committee. And fourth, it points to one clear next step. Call us, book here, come in, so the visitor knows what to do. Say what you do, speak to their problem, sound human, point to a next step. Name those 4 and you can brief an assistant to write a page that works. Get your raw truth on the page. Here is the first move, and it is the one people skip because it feels too simple. Before an AI can write your site, you have to get the raw truth out of your head, and you do not have to write it well. Just talk, answer a few plain questions in messy, unpolished sentences. What do you actually do in the words you would use to a friend at a coffee shop? Who are your best customers, and what problem did they have before they found you? What do people always say when they are happy with your work? What makes you different from the shop down the road? Honestly, not in marketing language. Type the answers roughly, typos and all. This messy dump is the gold because it is real and it is the one thing an AI cannot make up. You are not writing the website here. You are handing over the raw material so the assistant can shape it. Brief the AI like a copywriter. Now the shift that makes this work. You do not paste your notes and say make me a website, because a vague request gives you the same bland filler you were trying to escape. Instead, you brief it the way you would brief a good copywriter you hired for the afternoon. It sounds like this. Here is what my business actually does, in my own rough words. Here is who my customers are and the problem they come to me with. Please write my homepage, a short about section, and a services section. Keep it clear and warm. Sound like a real person and not a corporate brochure. Lead with the customer's problem and end each section with one simple next step. Use plain English a busy person can skim. That brief is the whole secret. You are handing over the truth and the tone, and letting the assistant do the shaping you have been dreading. The jobs to ask for. Let me give you the specific jobs to ask for every time. because together they turn your rough notes into a site you would actually publish. 1. Write in plain, warm English and ask it to cut every empty word like passion, quality, and excellence. 2. Lead with the customer's problem so the page is about them, not a history lesson about you. 3. Give you a few options for the crucial first headline, because that line does most of the work. 4. Keep your real voice. Ask it to match the way you actually talk, not smooth you into a stranger. And 5. End every section with one clear call to action. Never leave a visitor wondering what to do next. Plain words, lead with their problem. Headline options, keep your voice, one clear next step. Ask for those 5 and you get a draft with a spine instead of a page full of filler. One about page, start to finish. Let me make it concrete with a made-up example. Picture an owner we will call Wei, who runs a small aircon servicing company and has put off building a website for 3 years. His old attempt read, "We provide reliable aircon solutions with a commitment to customer satisfaction." Nobody read past it. This time Wei spends 15 minutes answering plain questions out loud. He does honest servicing, he never upsells parts you do not need. Most customers come from word of mouth after a fast same-day fix. He hands those rough notes to his AI assistant with the brief. The homepage comes back leading with the customer's real problem, an aircon that died on the hottest day, and a promise of a fast, honest fix with no invented faults. The About page tells his actual story in plain words. Wei reads it, changes 2 lines to sound more like himself, cuts one claim he cannot fully back, and publishes. His phone starts ringing from the site within a week. That is level 1. Staring versus shipping. Now let me name the real difference this makes, because it is not about clever writing. It is about finally having a site that does its job. Level 0 is staring. The page stays blank or bland for years because writing about yourself from scratch is genuinely hard, so every customer who searches for you finds nothing that speaks to them and quietly picks someone else. Level 1 is shipping. The same truth that was locked in your head becomes a clear homepage, a warm about page, and a services section that leads with the customer's problem and points to a next step, drafted in an afternoon instead of dreaded for a year. Your job shrinks from writing from a blank page to refining a strong draft into your own voice. You are still fully in charge. The AI publishes nothing and invents nothing on its own. It just turns what you already know into words on a page. Your judgment stays in charge. This next part is not optional, so I want to be direct. The AI drafts the words, but it does not run your business. You do. It only knows what you told it, and it will sometimes guess to fill a gap, inventing a claim you cannot back, a service you do not offer, or a promise you cannot keep. So treat its draft as a strong first version, never the final word. Read every line and ask, is this actually true? Cut anything you cannot stand behind, because a promise on your homepage is a promise your customers will hold you to. Make sure it still sounds like you. If a line feels too slick or too formal for who you are, rewrite it in your own plainer words. The AI is good at turning rough truth into clean copy fast. You hold the judgment about what is true, what you can deliver, and what actually sounds like your business. A simple way to start. If you want to try this, here is the low-effort way in, and it is smaller than it sounds. Do not try to build the whole site today. Just pick one page. Your About page is a good start, and spend 15 minutes answering plain questions out loud into a document. What you do, who you help, and what makes you different, in rough, honest words. Paste it to an AI assistant with the brief. Write my About page in plain, warm English. Lead with the customer. Sound like a real person. End with one next step. Then read it with your own judgment. Cut anything untrue. Fix anything that does not sound like you, and put it live. That is the whole experiment. One page, written the new way, in an afternoon. You will feel almost immediately how much easier it is to edit a strong draft than to face a blank page. The honest watchouts. And because I promised no hype, here are the honest watchouts, and please take them seriously. First, the AI will confidently invent things to fill a gap, a fake statistic, a service you do not offer, a founding story that never happened. So read every claim and cut anything that is not true. Second, do not let it flatten your voice. If the draft sounds like every other business, it has failed. so push it to sound more like you, plainer and warmer. Third, it can only work with what you feed it. So a rushed thin brief gives you a rushed thin page. Put the real thought into your rough notes. And fourth, copy is not the whole site. You still need clear contact details, honest photos, and a way to actually reach you. Use it to turn your truth into clear words fast. Keep the truth checking, the voice, and the final approval firmly in your own hands. Quick recap. Let me pull it together. Level 0 is a website that is blank or bland, stuffed with empty words like quality and passion, because writing about yourself from scratch is genuinely hard, so searchers find nothing that speaks to them and go elsewhere. Level 1 is dumping your raw truth out of your head in plain, messy words, then briefing an AI assistant to turn it into a clear homepage, a warm about page, and a services section that leads with the customer's problem and ends with one next step. The 5 asks are plain words, lead with their problem, headline options, keep your voice, and one clear call to action. You read every line for truth, cut what you cannot back, make it sound like you, and only then publish. What you get is a site that finally says what you do, drafted in an afternoon, still fully in your voice. If your website is blank or full of words that could belong to any business on earth, this is the workflow that turns what you actually do into copy that speaks, and we made a free step-by-step course that walks you from level 0 to level 1 in plain language, no jargon, and no technical background needed. It shows you how to get an AI assistant onto your own computer, working with your own notes and files, so you can try this on one real page of your own. Instead of taking my word for it, head to aifirstasia.com/level1 and take the free course. Do it once, write a single page the new way, and feel how different it is to refine a draft instead of facing a blank screen. And if you want more of this, practical AI workflows built for SME owners, honest and no hype, then subscribe. Level 1 is right there. Go take the